Question is the bill be now read the second time. The honourable member for Nelson.
Thank you, Mr President. I rise to speak very briefly on the bill because I appreciate the contributions made by other members already, particularly thank you, Member for Hobart, for going into such a lot of detail about it and addressing some of the matters that had been raised for discussion on the bill. I too want to acknowledge that this is such a good bill for us to be dealing with, and it's such a pleasure actually for us to complete the bill to some extent today. Again, we'll have that conversation later, no doubt. And partly because I see this bill as a good example of how good policy should get translated then into legislation and then out into implementation. We've seen the Sentencing Advisory Council come with recommendations and lay the groundwork for this. We've then seen a working group put together of people who have relevant lived experience and insights into this, contribute into shaping and forming the specifics of it. The consultation occurred that further shaped things and improved the bill. And we have before us now a really worthwhile bill to consider, and that's incredibly positive. So I congratulate those who've been involved along each step of the way, but I particularly congratulate the community advocates who have really tirelessly worked for this and ensured that it stayed on the agenda and was progressed, although it did have some delays along the way. So particularly, again, also acknowledging the chamber with us, Eamon Jaffrey and Rodney Croom, as two people who fit into that category of people who've been tirelessly working to see this come about. As has been noted to us, this bill won't necessarily prevent hate, but it will hold it to account more effectively. That's the potential it has. I do, though, think that it does also represent a statement from us as a community and from us as a parliament about what we accept and what we don't accept, and what we condone and what we don't condone. And that is important over time, working towards prevention. That does help shape culture. So it might not specifically prevent instances of hate crimes because this deals with when that's already occurred. But I think as a cultural statement, it's an important start towards, or contribution towards, prevention as well. I won't go into detail that has already been covered by others, but I am interested also in the implementation end of this. And of course, we know that will be really important when it comes to being successful in achieving the outcomes we want it to achieve. We know and had heard through briefings that how this is brought forward by our police force and the training that's there around that, what we'll learn about the use of this new sentencing provision, what we'll learn about it through the collection of data will be really important, because the bill does, of course, have a review clause there for potentially 5 years' time, I think it is. And that will be important too, to know whether we got it right with the way things have been framed up in this bill. The intention is good, the evidence base was good, the contribution from relevant lived experience advocates has been good, but we won't necessarily know that it's working well until we do that review, and we won't be able to do that review well unless we've had really solid implementation planning, training planning and data collection through the implementation of this. So I'm interested probably to hear a little bit about that on the record here from the government, to help us have confidence in that. But other than that, I'm very pleased to be supporting the bill today, and if we do come to have the discussion later about completing the bill today with a third reading, that will be a conversation for then, but I will be consistent in the view I've expressed all day. Thank you, Mr President. I support the bill.
Question is the bill be now read the second time.